Welcome to Corks and Cauldron. We're two friends uncork a bottle, cast a few spells, and dive deep into fantasy books and theories. I'm Gabby.
And I'm Jen. Quick disclaimer, this is an adult podcast about adult books, so expect some spicy language, spicy content, and spicy spoilers.
So let's pour a drink, grab a snack, and get started. Today we're covering chapters 9 through 18 of Glint, Book 2 in the Plated Prisoner series. And Jen, what kind of gruel are we snacking on today?
Since we're going to meet one of my favorite characters in the book.
He's so cool. I love him.
Keg the Cook. Yes, I love his name. It is Keg. I thought I'd give you guys a porridge. Okay, it's really a steel cut oatmeal recipe that's a little more flavorful than the recipe that he uses in the book. I like this one a lot. It's called apple pie for breakfast. So you're going to use steel cut oatmeal, which are just oat grouts that have been coarsely chopped, giving them a little bit more chewy texture and a nutty flavor versus like rolled old-fashioned oats or quick oats. They do take longer to prepare, so they take about 15 to 30 minutes versus old-fashioned oats, which take like 5 or 10, and quick oats, which are like quick.
Minute rice. Yeah.
Yeah. So steel cut oats are closer to the original unprocessed oat groat that all three are made from oatmeal.
I can't get over oat groat. It's just such a
weird word. Anyway, steel cut oats, apple juice and water mixed together, diced apples. I like pink ladies in this because they're a little sweet and a little tart, or cosmic crisp apples because they're on the sweeter side. Cinnamon and a little bit of brown sugar go into a pot.
Yeah, it sounds like just like apple pie. Like
it really does.
Yeah.
And I do this in my Dutch oven on the stovetop, but the original recipe that I grabbed from Pinterest that we will use is a crockpot recipe. So the crockpot recipe from Pinterest uses a tablespoon of honey in it. I like to use a quarter of a cup of brown sugar, but you should sweeten it the way you like. So I hope you like it as much as I do. You can always swap whatever kind of oatmeal you want for this, just so you know. You just have to cut down on the water.
The water and
juice.
the cooking time, right?
And the cooking time. Yeah, because maybe don't cook it for 30 minutes. If it's quick oats, you will have probably what Keg is feeding people for breakfast.
Slop.
Yeah. So now that I've fumbled my way through that, what are we drinking?
It works perfectly with how you handled yours.
Thanks.
It's wine called So This Happened. I got it from Wink Wine Club. And it's an orange wine, which I'm curious about. I don't really know how this is going to go. This wine brings the sweet, citrusy punch of a plot twist that you didn't see coming. You're supposed to serve it chilled, and it's an orange wine. So we're going to see how this is. And it's got 13.3% alcohol per volume.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. All right, are we ready to see if I can pop it?
Yeah.
Without giving myself a black eye.
Yay!
Yeah, it is orange.
Colored?
And it smells like orange.
Okay.
Yeah, look at it.
It's pretty.
So yeah, I guess we're diving right into the chapter recaps.
Yes, please.
Let me take a sip.
Well, yeah, we have to know how it tastes.
It's not bad. It's kind of like a semi-dry white. I don't get a lot of orange flavor out of it, but
maybe the more you drink, the way... Okay. So a good mocktail for this would just be orange juice then?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get orange vibes from it, but whatever. All right, let's dive in. Chapter recaps. Chapter 9. Orin wakes up to her ribbons checking on her. At least someone is. Testing her for pain. The ribbons are finally healing, which is some good news. She glances at Commander Rip, who is still asleep, and his face is strangely peaceful. But she's not fooled. Whatever power he holds, it's dangerous. How does King Ravenger keep a secret? Do people believe lies because it's easier than the truth? All important questions. Orin wakes up and gets dressed with her ribbon's help and slips out of the tent before Rip wakes up. The cold is brutal, but she makes her way to the latrine like the survivalist queen that she is. Back in the camp, the army stirs, grumbling, hecking up phlegm, and complaining about breakfast. So they're just like me in the morning, it sounds like, just walking around hacking up stuff. Orin follows a scent of food to Keg. This is when we meet Keg, who is the camp cook, who immediately shuts down complaints about her getting a meal. Turns out, Keg's siblings are named Distill and Barley, which is fantastic names. I love those names. And that's the first time we actually hear Orin laugh this whole time she's been with the Fourth Kingdom. She wolfs down the quote-unquote porridge, but just as she's starting to enjoy a small moment of peace, the insults begin. Soldiers start mocking her for being Midas's saddle again, and one crude comment turns into several. It's the mom mentality. It's the mean girls in high school all over again. One person starts it, and they all follow. Everyone's making fun of her, leaning into that, until one voice slices through the noise. And what, quote, it would you like to see exactly? And just like that, Commander Rip has entered the chat. Chapter 10. Rip overhears the soldiers making crude jokes about Orin, and with a quiet command, orders Osric to teach them a lesson. No questions, no hesitation, just immediate consequences. Rip then orders Orin to the carriage, walking beside her, not leading her and not restraining her, which unsettles her more than she would like to admit. Their conversation is a battle of words. Orin insists that she's Midas's, quote, favored, while Rip scoffs at the distinction. In his defense, it's the same thing. Yeah, different words for the same title. Orin demands to see the other saddles and guards, and Rip shuts her down with a chilling warning. If you want something, you're going to have to earn it. Orin is left unnerved, confused, and more trapped than ever. Chapter 11. We're back in Queen Melina's POV, and Melina is done playing the role of Midas's obedient queen. She asserts her power with a bold, symbolic choice, dressing in white and ice blue instead of Midas's in forest gold. And white and ice blue were her kingdom's original colors. Her handmaidens are visibly uneasy, but Melina relishes the control that she is reclaiming. When confronted in court about her authority, she doesn't flinch. She owns it. With sharp words and a colder resolve, she forces the nobles to acknowledge that she alone rules the Sixth Kingdom in Midas's absence. With no one daring to challenge her, she cements her control. Melina just isn't just holding the throne for Midas. She's taking it back. The whispers will spread, the kingdom will feel her frost creeping in, and Midas will soon learn that his golden rule is turning into ice. All right, chapter 12. Oh, we're back in Orin's POV. Orin spends a long, isolating carriage ride trapped with her thoughts and her memories. She recalls a painful childhood, begging in the streets under Zakir's cruel control, reinforcing why she clung so tightly to Midas when he, quote-unquote, saved her. Cue the eye roll, right? Her present reality is no better. She's still determined to warn Midas, and she convinces herself that once he knows that she's been taken, he will stop at nothing to rescue her. As the army stops for the night at a glowing blue cave, Osric retrieves Orin for the commander. So he's on fetching duty. Along the way, he takes a pleasure in leading her through the worst paths, making her travel as difficult as possible. But their conversation cuts deeper than her struggle through the snow. Osric sees her as, quote, Midas's trophy, his symbol of wealth and power. Every time people look at her, they think of greed, of Midas's unchecked influence. Orin is stunned by this perspective, realizing how the world sees her as not a person, but as a reflection of Midas's rule. By the end of their conversation, the banter between them shifts. Osric still dislikes her, but takes a smoother path for the rest of the way. A small truce, perhaps, but not quite a friendship yet. Chapter 13. Orin is led to Rip's command tent, where he dismisses his soldiers to have a private conversation with her, questions her about her time as Midas's favored, pressing her on whether she enjoyed it and whether the infamous gilded cage was real. Orin, weary of his intentions, refuses to engage, but Rip's probing forces her to confront uncomfortable truths. I need a drink. This was a lot of talking. Their battle of wits escalate when a young boy, Twig, brings in food. Orin challenges the idea of a child serving in the army. She's not cool with that, and Rip dismisses her concern, offering her food instead. Initially, Orin refuses out of pride, but hunger wins, and she eats while Rip continues his psychological chess game. Rip insinuates that Midas's love for Orin isn't what she believes, and leading her to lash out by hinting at his own secrets. However, good old Rip turns the tables, daring her to exchange a truth for a truth, or a lie for a lie. Feeling exposed and vulnerable, Orin refuses, recognizing that her truths will cost her more than his. Defeated, she thanks him for dinner and leaves, bitterly comparing herself to a pet returning to her kennel. Tension is at an all-time high, with Rip slowly unraveling Oren's carefully built illusions, one pointed question at a time. Chapter 14. Oren isolates herself in a nook within an ice cave, observing Rip's soldiers and realizing that they're not quite the bloodthirsty monsters that she was expecting. However, she reminds herself that Rip is manipulating her and trying to sow doubt about Midas. Determined to stay loyal, she sets her mind on finding a messenger hawk to warn Midas of the army's movements. She's still looking for these hawks, still trying to get word out.
And has no idea that he already knows.
Yeah. As she wanders the camp, she encounters Hojat, the mender, who is brewing a foul-smelling concoction, in theory for pain relief. He's making his own tonics. Their conversation turns to the other captives, and Oren attempts to convince him to let her see the other saddles. Hojat refuses, insisting she'll need Rip's permission. Just when she thinks she's out of luck, a female soldier unexpectedly offers to take her to the saddles. Unsure whether to trust this new ally, but desperate to check on the others, Oren cautiously agrees to follow her, and this is how we meet Lou, who is one of my favorite characters. I love her so much. Chapter 13. Oren is led through the camp by Lou, a sharp and confident female soldier.
Chapter 15.
My God. Chapter 15. Oren is led through the camp by Lou, a sharp and confident female soldier who seems to have her own agenda. As they navigate the camp, Oren grows suspicious of Lou's motives, worried that she might be leading her into a trap. Instead, Lou enlists Oren's help to help her steal back a barrel of wine from the right flank.
Yes.
Yeah. Which surprises Oren, but also breaks some of the tension between them. So Lou's including her. This is like the first time Oren's been included in anything fun. Not just, well, yeah, anything really. As they carry the barrel, Lou asks Oren if Midas's gold touch was painful and if she hates being stared at. These are questions that Oren has never been asked before, and they hit deeper than she expects.
I was wrong. It's the left flank. She steals it from the left flank to take it to the right flank.
Do you want me to go back and...
If you want to. I just thought I'd tell you.
I'm fine leaving it.
Okay.
Oren admits that being a constant spectacle is exhausting, and I could only imagine. I would hate that. Once they stash the wine and share a drink, Lou finally agrees to take Lauren to the saddles. As a reminder, you know what? No. Once they stash the stolen wine and share a drink, Lou finally agrees to take Oren to the saddles. Along the way, Oren learns that the Fourth's army allows female soldiers, and Lou fiercely defends the idea that women belong on the battlefield and are not just possessions. Yes, love Lou. I love her so much. When they reach the tent where the saddles are being held, Oren notices soldiers are guarding them and are immediately on edge when they see Lou, addressing her as captain. Realizing that Lou has more authority than maybe she let on initially, Oren is wary, but determined to see her fellow captives. Lou warns Oren not to do anything reckless or risk making things worse for everyone. Oren knows that she'll have to tread carefully, but she can't let this opportunity pass. Chapter 16. We are not done yet. Oren visits the saddles, unsure of how they'll react to her presence. She finds all 12 of them alive, although the tensions are high. They argue over cramped space and their dire situation. They finally notice her, and their hostility quickly shifts to her, especially from Miss and Polly, who mock her as Midas's favored. Midas's favored gets thrown around so much in these chapters. Yeah, and Miss and Polly are kind of bitchy. Oren's attempting to check in on their well-being, encourage them to trust the army's mender, but they scoff at that idea, reminding her that she has no place among them, the other saddles. They believe it's only a matter of time before forced soldiers try to take advantage of them, and their fear is palpable. Oren is disturbed by this possibility and realizes she has no reassurances to offer. Trying to shift the conversation, she asks about the whereabouts of the guards, but the saddles don't know. Midas's guards, not their guards. Midas's guards.
Mm-hmm.
They believe they were intentionally separated to prevent escape attempts. Despite their resentment, Oren stays focused on one particular person, Risa. She needs to know if Risa told Rip what really happened on the ship with the captain. As the tensions thicken between them, Oren silently wonders, did she tell? This is Oren's big secret. She needs to know if it's out in the world. Chapter 17. Oren finally gets Risa alone and asks if she told anyone about the pirate captain's death. Risa says she hasn't, ... yet. Instead, she starts pressing Orin for information about her abilities, deducing that Midas transferred some of his power to her when he gold touched her. Orin panics, realizing that Risa is dangerously close to figuring everything out. Risa then makes her demand. In exchange for keeping Orin's secret, she wants gold. Enough to buy her out of the royal saddle contract and start fresh somewhere new. Orin tries to resist, but Risa is determined, making it clear that she will do whatever it takes to secure her freedom, even if it means selling Orin out. With no other choice, Orin agrees, promising to provide gold when they reach the Fifth Kingdom. But Risa's final warning is sharp. If Orin doesn't follow through, Risa will find someone else to make a deal with. Now, Orin has a dangerous bargain hanging over her head, and one that could cost her everything. Chapter 18. We're back in Queen M's POV. Queen Melina navigates political intrigue as she works to solidify her rule over the Sixth Kingdom in Midas's absence. She entertains Lady Helena, we're going with, a powerful noblewoman in the atrium, which was the atrium. I mean, we all know what an atrium, right? Like, it's an indoor garden. So it was used to be very lush, and now it's just gilded. Everything is gilded, and it's a graveyard of Melina's mother's plants. The visit is a calculated move, and after much patience, Melina secures Helena's support, a key step in rallying the noblewomen to her side. Afterward, Melina faces her husband's advisors, who are hesitant about her growing power. She shuts down their doubts, asserting that she will rule Sixth Kingdom, not Midas. When questioned about her inquiries into the military forces, she subtly reminds them that a wise ruler always prepares for both external threats and betrayal from within. Her words leave them visibly shaken. Melina is playing a dangerous game, but she is determined to win, proving she doesn't need magic to wield power. And that's it. Those are the recaps. The book is finally starting to pick up pace, I feel like. Things are actually starting to happen.
Yep. It only took a whole book.
There's a lot of world building and explaining that needed to happen.
Yes, there was.
We had to feel disgusted and sorry for Orin before we got to this point, right?
Yeah.
Probably. Disgusted by Midas, not disgusted by Orin. But we had to establish how women are treated in this world.
Yeah. Are you ready to deep dive? Do you need more wine?
I'm good.
Okay. So let's go to chapter 9.
Let's dive into it. This marks a significant shift in Orin's journey, both in terms of physical autonomy and her mental state. And it really just begins with her ribbons brushing her to make sure she's okay. And it's the first time we see her acknowledging them as more than just an oddity or something that she has to hide. She recognizes that they're getting better because they were not in a good state when we left them in chapter 8. They were still a little tired and sore. Well,
so it's
that was the hardest they've been worked in 10 years.
Yeah. It's kind of like the day after a workout, you know? So she appreciates that they're there and smiles and she's happy. And the fact that they moved to comfort her is kind of an important step for her to accepting who she is.
Green.
Instead of continuing to hide it. So since it's pre-dawn and she's awake and he's not.
They're camping.
Yeah, and they're camping. Orin takes a minute to take a look at Commander Rip as he's sleeping. Stripped of his usual, hey, I'm just saying, people watch people when they're sleeping. Usually it's people that are in love with each other. Or in some of the books that we read, stalkers. But whatever.
I was drinking.
Sorry.
Oh, God. It went up my nose.
Stripped of his usual scowl, he appears different, a little less menacing and more
softer.
Maybe
he looks
more
softer.
Relaxed.
Yeah, his face doesn't have the scowl. He's not as tense. Yeah.
And then she kind of sits there and wonders if the silver scales on his cheekbones, what they feel like, and whether the spikes hurt when he retracts them. And most importantly, she wonders about the power that's pulsing beneath his skin.
So let's talk about his silver scales. Okay. Are they fish scales? Snake scales?
I don't see a difference between the two types of scales.
One is more round? Maybe?
I don't know. There's lots of artwork all over.
There is, yeah.
And there's some really good one. Raven Kennedy on her Instagram at Raven Kennedy Books
Mm-hmm.
actually has a couple of people that she
Like
shows their
commissions.
artwork and
Yeah.
commends their artwork for how good it is.
She also has some art pieces on her website.
She does. So, but I don't know. I just thought that they were scales.
I just, like, how would they feel? Would it feel like a fish and slimy and wet and gross? Or like a snake and kind of dry and flaky? Like, does he have to moisturize the scales?
I would think you would have to moisturize at least.
Well, he's been in the Barrens for like 3 or 4 days now and hasn't moisturized at all. So
We know of. We don't know his
That's-
nighttime routine.
well,
Or his daytime routine for all that matters.
yeah.
We definitely don't see his morning routine today.
Yeah. She's comparing him to Midas.
She's comparing him to Midas.
Yeah.
Because Midas rules on worship and fear.
Yeah.
Really? Like,
he rules with an
that's
iron
it.
fist. Yeah.
And Rip kind of is a little quieter and a more restrained person. And it's an interesting comparison.
So I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I have seen, I'm on the internet, right? So I've seen memes and I've seen clips from Game of Thrones. And Midas kind of reminds me of the young king, Joffrey, where he just is kind of a dick about everything and is just like yelling to everyone that I'm king and you should be afraid of me.
Yes.
Yeah. And Rip is kind of like the self-assured king, where he has a presence and people bow to it without him screaming that he's king or commander. Yeah. That's it.
Have
That's
you seen any of
contribution.
the Hobbit?
I've
Your
seen Lord of
boyfriend's
the
a nerd.
Rings.
Can you just let me have?
But he doesn't like the Middle Earth kind of nerd stuff. He's like a Star Wars nerd.
That.
He's a futuristic nerd.
That.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was going to make a comparison, but never mind.
I know. I've seen all of the Lord of the Rings. I haven't read the books. It's on my TBR. I just haven't got around to it.
They're really good.
That's what I've heard.
So her thoughts kind of spiral into a larger contemplation about her ignorance and fear. She wonders how people can look directly at the truth and still choose to believe a lie, which is hello, humanity.
Yeah, like, have we looked outside this year?
You know, she realizes that maybe ignorance isn't just foolishness or being stupid. Maybe it's a coping mechanism or a survival one, which I kind of agree with.
I don't, but whatever.
For the masses, yeah.
I can see the comparison, and yes. I agree with the comparison. I just don't agree that it's a good coping mechanism.
No, I didn't say it was good.
True, that's fair. No.
Let's be clear here. I didn't say it was a good one. I just said it was one.
It's like the distinction in Zodiac Academy. I said I enjoyed the books. I didn't say they were good books.
Exactly. And this is kind of really personal for her because it's mirroring what's going on with her in her own reality. So
she has to have had to grow so much in these last few chapters.
Yeah.
Because remember, baby Oren in book 1 never left her cage. She was ignorant. She was just accepting whatever anyone told her.
Yeah.
Without questioning anything. Oh yeah, I have that, don't I?
You do. And now that she's been in Fourth's camp for a day or two, she's starting to her mind is starting to open up a little more, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Cracks are forming, although she's not ready yet to face that truth. Rip stirs in his sleep and Oren tenses, but nothing really happens. He didn't bother her in the nighttime. He didn't tie her down, didn't threaten her. He did nothing. He went to sleep.
He covered the fire so they wouldn't set on fire.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. That's true. He covered the fire and went to sleep. And that's it. So she doesn't understand what's going on because with Midas, she would have been tied down.
Mm-hmm.
He would have had her under his control.
Yeah.
Rip might use just super abrupt words and
pointed words
and intimate questions about her.
Mm-hmm.
But most of his tactics are all psychological, not physical. I think he's just trying to get her to see,
to think
what's
critically,
going on.
to like,
yeah,
you're smart. You can see this.
Yes.
Yeah.
But determined not to be caught by Rip, she gets dressed and she sneaks out with her ribbon's help. So she sneaks out. She starts, first things first, of course, she goes to the bathroom.
Yep. You wake up, you go to the bathroom.
To the latrines. Is that what they're called in this? I can't remember. And then she starts wandering around the camp. and hears it waking up. So
Yeah, you know how like when you're in a group of people and like if you've ever gone camping with a group of people, there's always that first person awake and then like everyone starts rustling around and
yeah, but that person is usually cheerful and you want to kill them.
true. I would say throw the eggs at them, but eggs are
expensive right now. You can't do that.
yeah, there's no more egging cars in this economy.
But people are starting to break down tents. People are coughing, stretching, preparing for another day of travel.
I'm just picturing a bunch of like boomer dads waking up and all you hear is like the shuffling of feet and like hacking up a lung.
Yes.
And grumbling about the morning somehow.
So still pre-dawn, she's following the smell of food. And it leads her to one of the campfires where she meets Keg, one of the Force cooks. And
Keg
he's my
so
favorite.
Underrated.
He definitely, he's friendly. He doesn't give a shit about who she is, where she comes from. He's got a bunch of soldiers standing in line with cups in their hands. And he notices her because she gets in line.
She's also gold. It's hard to miss her.
He calls her forward, and all the guys get kind of mad. And he's like, "You'll get your food." He keeps talking about putting his foot up people's asses, which is like his favorite threat. It is the threat that he uses for everything. But he's being kind to her. He's kind of like Sale, but I picture him as older.
Yeah, I agree.
Cookie from all the camps from like cowboy movies. That
gruff, I pictured like
grumpy guy,
grizzled old guy.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say old, but I mean like he's maybe because he's still traveling with the camp, so he can't be like old, right?
Right.
But it's seasoned. He's a seasoned cook.
But he pulls her up to the front of the line. He jokes. He introduces himself. Throws her off guard completely because she doesn't know how to respond to any of this, and gives her a cup of, we're gonna call it porridge.
That's being generous.
And he's super excited because she takes it and she just shoots it down.
It's a shot.
Yeah. It's warm and she swallows it down. And he's so excited and just tickled pink.
Well, that's the best compliment you can give a cook is to eat their food. I'm assuming you're the cook of this podcast, but that's what I'm assuming.
Well, I want you to enjoy it too, usually, which we don't really hear a whole lot about people enjoying his food, just that it is food. That's okay.
Keg is also one of the first people who like is very frank with her and is like, I expected you to be like a gold statue, but you're not.
No, not.
Like he calls her all soft and warm curves or something like that. Like,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. She's a woman who happens to be gold.
And he's really nice with her. He tells her about his family and about the fact that he has 2 siblings, Distill and Barley.
Because his parents own a brewery?
Breweries.
Yeah, they own the breweries in Fourth Kingdom. Yeah.
And it makes Oren laugh, which is something she hasn't done in a long time. So it's kind of an important moment. It's proof that outside of Midas's world, there are people who see her as more than just a favored pet.
I think Oren still had her walls up in this meeting. I think it was too soon after Sale. So I think she wants to like Keg. I think she wants to be friend Keg. I think she's still afraid too.
I think it's a little bit of that and a little bit of the fact that he's from the Fourth Kingdom and she's their prisoner.
Sure. I'll give you that too.
So it's going to take her a little while to warm up.
She's also, I think she's realizing how naive she is. And so I think she's overcorrecting with that, right?
Yeah.
She's realizing that she's fumbling everywhere and trusting the wrong people, or bad things are happening to the people she trusts, or whatever. And so she's afraid. She doesn't trust herself right now.
Yeah. But after Keg's comments about her being more curvy and less solid gold, of course, the soldiers start.
I'm not going to say that men will be men because we need to hold men accountable, but it's locker room talk. How about we say that?
Yeah. They mock her. They talk to her about how she's nothing more than a saddle, make it clear that to them, she's still nothing more than an object to be used. So,
and that throws her right back to where she just crawled out of.
Yeah. And they were talking about seeing
The only lesson anyone could take from a saddle is how to spread her legs. I'll volunteer for that lesson. Me too. Let's see it. And that's when
Rip comes
steps in.
Yep. And he's like, what would you like to see exactly?
We love a man who stands up for his girl.
Even if she doesn't know she's his girl yet.
Especially then, personally. That's my favorite trope. But
the campfire talk dies.
Water doused on a campfire. But this is another example of how Rip commands his people without being... Okay, yes, he's a little scary in this moment, but it's...
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But he's not... We'll get into this in the next chapter, like how he punishes them.
Yes.
It's a completely fair punishment.
He's
a fair and just ruler. And I think his soldiers know that. And they like him. They like him and they respect him.
Yeah.
That's all I was trying to say. I just made that harder on myself.
It was kind of like, when you get caught.
I've never been
by
caught.
Your parents.
Never been caught.
Okay. Anyway, his words really aren't just like a casual, they're a statement, and he wants his people to see what Orin is. I.e. more than a saddle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just what Midas has turned her into, which is the symbol for all of his power. It's the nicest word I can use. I'm sorry.
Midas is the fucking worst.
I agree. And this chapter for Orin is all about her starting to wake up and see the reality of her world and the truth, and starting to accept the truth about her past and the possibility that things might be able to be different.
We're getting a lot of flashbacks in these setup chapters.
Yes.
Well, in this whole book, we get a whole lot of flashbacks about her childhood, and it's devastating. Yeah. And it doesn't excuse her behavior, but it explains some things.
Yeah.
Right. To know that history of her childhood.
Yeah.
Rip isn't forcing her to see the truth at this point, but he's making it so it's harder to ignore. Yep. Yeah. At this point, she's passing billboard after billboard after billboard on the highway, right? Like, you know how you cross that?
Red flag.
I can change him.
So let's go to chapter 10.
Ugh.
I like chapter 10.
Yeah.
What? Are you reading?
I am reading. Yeah.
The beginning of chapter 10, I guess, is what I like, because the beginning is where he is having Osric take care of the gentleman and dish out their punishment.
And she's thinking Midas punishment, right? She's like, oh God, these men are going to get flogged. They're going to get whipped. They're going to die because they were just
chopped off.
Yeah, because they were just being, again, it's not an excuse, but like men shouldn't also die for talking like that.
Yes, I agree with that.
Like the punishment needs to meet the crime.
Yes.
So, Orin's afraid for those men who just made fun of her, which means she's a better person than I am. I would have been like, kill him. I don't care.
So Rip has Osric doling out the punishment. And while Osric is doing that, Rip is walking Orin to her carriage.
To the carriage, where she spends all day.
Yes.
Alone.
Yes. But while they're walking, Orin is like, it's really not that big of a deal.
It's fine.
It's fine. You don't have to punish them. It's okay. And Rip is like, it's really not.
Just so you know, no one should treat you like that.
Yeah. People should not talk about anyone like this.
Yeah. Any other person should not talk about any other person like this.
And he's just trying to explain to her that they needed the lesson. Mm-hmm. And Osric was happy to teach it to him.
Well, Osric is his right-hand man, right? Like, those two are thick as thieves. You'll get that later. But yeah, she's afraid for them.
She's got some serious anxiety.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. She doesn't want their punishment to be on her head.
Yeah. And, she tries to tell him it's fine. And he's like, you're lying. You're not. It's not. And Orin really thinks that she is such a good liar, and she's just not.
Orin's getting, like, she also thinks that Rip is playing a mind game with her at this moment, right? Yeah. Like, she's convinced that he's playing her like a fiddle. And to a certain extent, he is.
He is. And, he finally tells her during this exchange that because she's so worried about what's going to happen to these guys. He finally tells her, they're just going to have to fill in the latrines.
Like, it's the job that nobody wants to do, but we all have to do it.
Yeah, that's going to be their punishment. And she just was not expecting that, first off. But these two and their talk and their arguments, it's fantastic. I love it.
I love their banter.
I just love the fact that they argue. I think it's hilarious, especially since she really thinks that she's super smart and can lie, and he knows what buttons to push on her.
Already, these two have known each other for what, at this point, a grand total of 3 days, maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And he knows that calling her Midas's pet is gonna just set her off.
She hates that.
She hates it so much.
But also, Oren, if you're gonna act like a pet, we're gonna call you a pet.
Yeah. And what else they were talking about, so she defended them, not their crude remarks, but
don't kill them.
Yeah. And he tells her about latrine duty, and she goes, oh. And in her mind, she's like, that's not what I expected. And he tells her, just because those men acted crude and discordant does not mean that I don't trust them. What I said before is still true. They would not touch a single hair on your head unless I ordered them to. You are safe from every single soldier here. Because I think that she was kind of worried about people trying to taste.
Yep.
And he just, he's so funny.
So Oren's worried that Rip is using her as a pawn, right? She thinks that's the only reason that she's still alive and with the soldiers. Just not 100% inaccurate.
No, it's not.
Rip is absolutely using her. Yeah, and we're just going to leave it at that. He's absolutely using her to a certain extent.
I like that he doesn't like to talk about Midas, though.
I do too.
Yeah. I'm sorry, and I interrupted you. Go ahead.
It's okay. She tells Rip that she's convinced that she's a pawn and just a ransom piece for Midas. Mm-hmm. And Rip doesn't deny it. He agrees. And he takes it a step further. And he says, it would be rude of me to return Midas's pet in poor condition. And that sets her off. She hates being called Midas's pet. Yeah. And we even hear that in the first book. She prefers the term favored.
Yes.
We learned that like in the first 3 chapters.
It's still the same word.
Which is, Rip points out, it's like, it's a different word for the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're calling you the same thing, just using different words for it. And I think it's important for us as readers and for Oren to hear that dismissal, right? That it's the same word. You're being silly. It shows that Rip sees through the illusion that Oren is clinging to. A gilded cage is still a cage, right?
Yeah.
A cage is a cage is a cage, no matter how pretty the bars are.
Yeah.
Oren's just not ready to admit it yet. And she won't be for a while.
But after their conversation about being owned versus
favored
versus pets, she tries to demand again that Rip let her see the saddles and Midas's guard. And
Rip is like, that's cool. That's fine. We can work with that. But if you want something, you're going to have to earn it.
Yeah.
I think it's speculation, right? When she hears you have to earn it, her mind goes to, I'm a saddle I have to put out to earn it. Yeah. That's her only currency that she has, is what she thinks.
And she doesn't realize that he just wants her to answer questions.
Yeah.
And I don't even think yes, they're a little bit about Midas, but a lot of it is about her and how she feels.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that when he asks, she will not answer. But when Hojat or Keg
or Lou later
asks, she just...
The gates are open.
Yep.
The floodgates are open.
For Osric, fuck off.
Well, that's because he's tied
right off.
Rip, so...
But he also treats her...
Osric does not like her.
He does not like her.
No.
And we'll find that out. We'll find that out later, so...
It's not necessarily her. Yeah. We'll get into that. Yeah. But yeah, Rip is playing the long game with her.
Yeah.
And Oren doesn't know the rules. She doesn't understand what he's doing.
No.
She's just a little naive little girl.
Yeah. So we're going to go back after chapter 10 and Oren hopping in her carriage. We're going to slip over to chapter 11, which is from Melina's point of view.
I love Queen Anne. I mean, not at this point in the books. At this
Yeah.
point, I hated her. Yeah.
So where chapter 10 was about Orin and Orin starting to question her power and the power structures.
Gonna be
Where
a good
Orin
episode.
is starting to question the power structures that she's lived under. Chapter 11 is all about Queen Melina seizing them back for herself.
Yeah, this chapter is all about Melina and how cold and calculated and cunning she is. And okay, we're going to get into this for a minute, but is she cold because she's a woman and she's taking back her power, or is she cold just because that's her personality?
I think it's her personality.
I mean, she grew up in Six Kingdom,
Yeah.
where like the average temperature was 3 degrees.
But she didn't have a lot of
Nurturing.
I don't think she had as much affection, especially after her mother died.
Orin didn't exactly have a lot of affection in her life either.
No, but she also didn't have a father.
Yeah.
Raising her to be royalty.
And yeah, in charge. Yeah.
So I think that's part of the difference too.
Yeah. I don't think Raven would write a woman character to be cold just because she's a woman. You know what I mean? Like some male authors are just like, oh, she was cold and calculating. And really it's just like a woman being in charge of a boardroom. And like you have to be in charge and decisive then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But anyway, Queen M, she plays the long game.
She has been playing the long game. And in this chapter, we see her getting ready to go see her.
She's going to the crown
room. She's going
to
answer questions.
Like the open forum.
It's an open forum day. And she's getting ready. So this chapter opens with her in her dressing room, standing before a mirror. A dressmaker is putting the finishing touches on a gown that she had commissioned.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently she had quite a few gowns commissioned.
Oh, yeah.
All in the former colors.
Yeah, her household colors.
Her house, yeah. So this one is a white and blue dress.
Mm-hmm.
Not gold.
Anything but gold.
Everything,
pretty much her.
By royal decree, everyone in...
Cabinet is not the right word, but no. The court.
Everyone in the court has to wear gold. And Queen Melina's like, we're not doing that because Midas is gone.
And I'm in charge.
Yeah. So...
I love that. I love a woman taking back her power.
She's getting her dress done as kind of a fuck you to Midas. When her handmaidens start helping her get ready, they get the gold powder out to put in her hair. And she's like, nope, we're not doing that.
And remember, she's got like pure white Arctic hair.
Yes. And they try and do her makeup with gold. And she's like, nope. And when they go to get her gold crown, this is my favorite. She pulls out an old silver box that has an ice blue.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I think so.
A silver box on her vanity. She pulls out a crown that used to be her mother's. And it has an outline of a bell on it with an icicle hanging from its hollow middle on the box. Sorry. They open the box and the crown is made entirely of white opal, sculpted from a single gemstone.
It's a huge gemstone.
Yeah. But she still says comments about how it's still lighter than the gold crowns she used to have to wear for Midas. She uses his first name Tyndall the whole time, but I can't stand his first name. I don't really like his last name either, just because it's him, but Midas is still easier to say.
Yeah. I always kind of picture the crown with like icicles sticking up.
Yes, that's kind of how I did too.
Yeah.
From Narnia, have you ever... I don't know why I ask you these things, okay?
I bought the Narnia series for my nephew, and I just haven't read it.
So if you Google Narnia Ice Queen, but don't say it around your phone, especially if you have a Pixel, there's a crown that she's wearing.
Oh, yeah, that's what
I picture. It's just like icicles shooting up. Although I think on this, that's not really a crown for her. I think that's just who she is. That's kind of, maybe not as tall, but I think that it's just similar to that shape.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but it was really pretty is what I thought. I pictured it really pretty. So once she's dressed and she has her guards also dressed in her family's colors, she walks down into the throne room,
head held high.
Yep. And instead of going to sit in the queen's throne,
the little throne,
She sits in the king's throne.
No. She sits in the ruler's throne.
The ruler's throne, yes.
And someone in her court freaks out. He's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, I feel like I need to let you know you're sitting in the wrong chair. And she does not stand for that. She says one sentence to him. Midas is not here to rule. I am.
And the effect that has on all of the nobles in the room is fantastic.
We all know that Midas knows how to work a crowd, but
Yeah.
Queen Melina should also not be discounted. She knows what to say to get people talking and listening to her.
Yes. And anybody that might have been a little bit unsure about what she was doing or uncomfortable with it immediately steps in line. Even if they may not feel it, like they're going to pretend.
Yep.
Right now. Because this is her room now.
Yeah, she's not here. I mean, she's here to rule. Some of the things she says about ruling her kingdom, I don't agree with.
Yeah, I agree.
There's comments about like taking a firm hand and snapping the reins to keep them in line.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's maybe don't compare your subjects to horses, maybe. But I'm not a queen. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe that's the norm. I don't know. I am in charge of people at my job. Literally, I'm just like, just tell me when you need me. I don't want to be involved unless I have to be.
Yeah.
Melina's there for not just control. She's also there for revenge. She's ready to take Midas out.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's laying the foundation for a cold war between her and Midas.
You're so funny.
Thank you. The last sentence in that chapter, you're going to get so sick of my puns. The last sentence in that chapter sent chills down my spine. Where it says, I am Queen Melina Collier Midas, and I was born to rule. Not pulling any punches. No. She's ready to take her kingdom back.
Yeah.
This is not a woman begging for power. This is a woman who's taking back what is hers.
And we know she's been planning for this for a while. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
It's an interesting contrast to how Melina and Orin both handle their cages.
Yes.
Right? Like, Melina's battle is politics and legacy and control. And Orin is just trying to survive.
Yeah. And recognize who she is versus who she has been. Yeah. She's got to grow.
Yeah. Yep. And Orin just hasn't grown up into her. She hasn't had she's had life experience. She just hasn't had the life experience to grow up.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying that right.
No, I get what you're saying.
Okay. Like,
there's a difference between getting older and growing up.
It's not like she hasn't had a hard life, right? Like, we look at her childhood and we cry for her. But she found the savior, right? And she just let everything go. Yeah. She was like, I got someone to take care of me. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
And that's it. And she just stopped growing, it feels like, at that point.
I agree.
Okay.
And Melina, on the other hand, because she was raised to rule, instead of stopping, she just kind of bided her time.
She watched and she waited. Calculated. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she knows that in order for her to take back her kingdom, she needs to show them that she is unyielding. She is not going to fall back into the belief that, because it's shiny and gold, it must be the way to save us. She has to show her people that they can stand on their own without Midas.
Right.
Under her.
I think she's going to make several missteps.
Oh, so many. And I'm all here for it.
I know. I am too. I love her story. I can't even say that Melina has good intentions. She just wants her kingdom back. But it's not good intentions either, right? So it is interesting to see how the two women handle a similar cage differently.
I like that this book is the start of not only Orin, but us seeing how women are treated differently in the different kingdoms.
True.
Because in the Sixth Kingdom, Melina shouldn't even have this power as far as they're concerned, because they're so used to how Midas has controlled them.
Well, women and she doesn't have any power, so she can't technically rule.
And in his rule, women are saddles. I mean, let's be honest, all women, not just saddles.
No, but like all women are objects.
Basically, women are objects, and that's all they're good for.
Mm-hmm.
Is either to be ridden or to be looked at.
Yep. Joke's on you.
So,
I'm a troll in the morning.
With Melina trying to take back her power.
It's a huge culture shock. Yeah.
These nobles are stunned. So
yeah. And then we look at Fourth Kingdom. We haven't got there yet, but we'll see
when
how
we get
Fourth
to Lou,
Kingdom.
we'll talk about Fourth Kingdom.
We don't know how Fifth Kingdom treats their women yet. We haven't covered that.
I have an idea.
I do too.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's
not good.
Not ideal.
Let's go talk about Chapter 12. Chapter 12 is rough. It is a slow-burning revelation, peeling back layers of Orange trauma, her perception of Midas, and the way others see her.
Yeah.
It's not a huge action-packed chapter, but it's a lot of memories. And at the end, Rip talking to her. Is this the one where they take her to, this is where, nope, the interrogation begins in chapter 13.
Yeah.
So, but it'll be Osric and her having a conversation at the end, which is great.
But to start, she is in the carriage by herself. Once again,
with her thoughts,
separated and alone with your thoughts. I could not be alone with my thoughts. Like I'm that person who constantly has that like music or something on in the background. I could not be alone in the silence of my own thoughts. So I don't blame Orin at all for what she's thinking.
Nope.
As she goes through here.
Nope.
So this is where we get a lot of Orin's.
The start of her backstory.
Yeah. Yeah. She's in the Second Kingdom, and she is living.
5?
Yeah, she's 5. She's just a baby. And she's living with Zakar, who sounds like a Disney villain.
Jafar.
Who sounds like a Disney villain, and his whole livelihood is sustained by making children go out and beg on the streets. And then he collects their money. Yeah. So that is her 5th year, 6th year, 7th year. She's with him until she's 15. 16. Yeah.
14 or 15. Yeah. 15.
This story, none of her childhood is an excuse for what happens, but it is a good explanation for why she latched on to Midas as hard as she did. Zakir is awful.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
And he bought her.
Yeah.
He bought her, he owns her, and a lot of other little children, and they all share the same room. It's not clean. They don't get a lot of food. This is the chapter where she talks about how there were times where she dug through the garbage to get food.
She used to eat trash, yeah.
And if she didn't eat it and tried to hide it away, the other kids would steal it from her. And it talks about how all of the kids were sick. Like all of the time.
Because they were eating garbage food. I'm not saying that to like be mad at them. I'm mad for them, not at them. But she is taught at that young age that her only worth is tied to what she can provide for others.
Yeah.
She has no self-worth. It's only what she can do to provide for anyone else.
Yeah. And this specific memory for her is when she was panhandling on a day where it was raining really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't getting a whole lot of money because normally she could, because she's different. She's gold.
Yeah, people stop and see the golden
child. People would stop and give her money. But because it's raining, everybody's just walking by her and walking by her.
Not making eye contact.
And Zakir's like, if you don't bring back
6 coins, 6 more
whatever
coins.
The coin is, you'll sleep outside.
In the rain. In the cold rain.
And that's what happens to her. She actually has to, because she didn't have enough money.
Well,
she wasn't able to bring back enough.
One other child who didn't have enough money, and he ended up leaving her too and slept on the roof.
Yeah.
So she slept alone in a puddle.
Yeah. So it's a super, super heartwarming,
right?
And
but
very
warm,
Hallmark.
Fuzzy. Yeah.
It's a very Hallmark chapter for us.
She doesn't have her ribbons yet. At this point, she's, other than being gold, little, she's a normal child.
I don't think that she has her power yet, because as we read in the books later, your power doesn't come into you until
puberty,
basically.
It's not hard enough.
You know, it's fine. That's the time when everything should happen to you. You know, you should get all of your powers and find out that you're the chosen one.
But yeah, so Orin she's in child slavery.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a skin trade. She's not forced to do that yet. And that is like the one point I will give.
That's the only redeeming characteristic of Zakir.
Because there is a point much, much later, I don't even remember what book or chapter, where he says, like, I could have done this to you much earlier.
Yes.
I waited until you were an adult, and now it's time to pay your due.
Yeah. So
she just wants someone to rescue her. And I don't blame her at all.
And that's why she clings to Midas so tightly.
All it took was one shitty rescue.
Yeah. And even now, when, you know, Rip is asking her questions about her life, and she's starting to kind of realize it's not that great. She's still clinging to Midas. Midas loves her with all his heart. And as soon as he finds out that she's missing, he's got to come save her.
He's going to drop everything and save her.
That's what she has to believe to function right now.
And it's unfortunate that it's come to that. Her childhood tells us why it is that.
Yeah. And
she's starting to confront it. She's starting to confront, like, is Midas actually saving me? It's the baby kernels, or the seeds are being planted there, but they're not sprouting yet.
She probably has a black thumb like me. That's why.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still idolizing Midas. She's still doing whatever she can to save Midas. She still thinks the Fourth Kingdom and Rip and all of those guys are monsters, even though she hasn't seen it. And so she's having a hard time reconciling the rumors versus what she's seeing.
Yeah. And then, you know, after all this, the carriage stops. And who comes to get her?
Not Rip.
My favorite. No, Osric. Who actually, okay, I do love Osric. Eventually. Right now,
he's an ass.
He's an ass. But Osric comes to get her to take her to talk to Rip. And
Osric despises Midas.
Yeah.
And he does not hide it.
And he can't stand Orin at all.
Well, he doesn't know Orin. We know Orin as a smart, quirky, awkward girl.
Because she tells us that's what she is.
That's fair. We're getting all of this from her perspective. Okay, that's a fair point. Osric views her as Midas's symbol.
Yes.
Which is how the rest of the world looks at Orin, right? Like,
yeah.
They look at Orin and they see Midas and what he symbolizes. And Osric hates that.
He really does.
Well, Osric hates Midas, and by extension, he hates Orin.
Orin, because she is, you know, just, yeah. And he is such a shithead in this chapter.
The fucking worst.
He is such a shit because he is taking her on the most difficult, dirty, filthy path.
Well, it's
to get to Rip.
It's not even a path, right? Like, it's unbroken snow, so they have to go and plow through it themselves. Yep. She's tripping over, like, campfire logs or, like, wood piles that are just scattered all over.
Soldiers.
Like,
manure.
Yup. He's just taking her intentionally on the hardest path possible.
And when she almost falls, he turns back and smirks.
What an ass.
Then she finally realizes, are you taking me on the most difficult path on purpose?
Yes.
And he's just like, yes, yeah.
Well, he says something like, you may not be a quick learner, but you do eventually learn, or something to that effect. Like,
you catch on a little slow.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see you've arrived at the realization.
Dick. What a dick move.
But that's also when she finds out, because she asks him straight out at that point, you really just don't like me, do you?
Yeah. Is there anything I can't do anything to make you like me?
And him just telling her, you know, he tells her she's Midas's symbol, and that's why.
Midas's pet. She's a Midas's symbol.
Yeah.
She's a walking advertisement for Midas's magic.
Yes.
And his
power.
And his greed. Yeah. She has always been Midas's pet, his trophy, his golden masterpiece.
Yes. And it pisses Osric off.
Well, okay, let's examine this from Osric's point of view, right? So he's loyal to the Fourth Kingdom.
Yes.
And if he sees a king that is
flaunting
his wealth and not taking care of his people in the way that Osric would expect a king to. Because remember, as we traveled through Highbell, we got poorer and poorer the further from the castle we got. And so I'm sure like the Fourth Kingdom is aware of all of that because that's closer to the Fourth Kingdom.
Yeah.
And so Osric is kind of like what Orin is thinking. You have all of this wealth and you still have people in poverty. What are you doing?
Yeah. There's no cause for it.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason for it. Yeah. Osric thinks that she's part of the problem, and Orin has never thought of herself as part of the problem. Poor Orin is just revelation after revelation on this.
And she's just not prepared for this.
Yeah.
And she finally just tells him, well, then just don't look at me.
Yeah, I don't want to look at you. I hate you
fucking
too.
Mouth.
So,
because I would have been the same way. I'd be like, you know what? If you don't like the way I look, just don't fucking look at me.
Well, okay, so don't they say something like Osric gets mad whenever he looks at Orin, and Orin's like, well, I get pissed when I look at you too. So,
and that's when the grudging respect starts.
So the moral that I took from this is sometimes you have to be a bitch when someone's being a dick to you. I don't see how that can go wrong anywhere in my life, and that's the what I'm taking away from this story.
Okay, well, that is a direction you could take.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And also, the more red flags, the more of amusement park it's going to be. I can change him.
Yeah. Okay.
Follow me for more relationship advice. But yeah, so Orin tells Osric that she gets pissed when she looks at him too, and Osric just kind of laughs. And that, like what you said, that's when the grudging respect kind of begins, and then he finds an easier path to lead her. So it's a win is a win, Orin.
Yeah,
a win is a win.
And this chapter itself is basically just showing us who Orin used to be before Midas, to kind of explain why her hold on Midas is so tight. Osric being a dick to her kind of shows us that she's not seeing things from the way other places see her. She's only seeing them from Midas' point of view, or
what she's been taught.
Yeah. So it's this chapter, like we said earlier, it's not a lot of world-changing, book-changing events. It's just slight shifts in the way she's starting to see things.
Yeah, character building.
Yeah. So, and it's a question of maybe her starting to try and figure out who does she want to be versus who she has been for Midas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Orin.
And then we get to the fun chapter.
Yes. This is a chapter that the U.S. military should study for psychological warfare. And Orin and Commander Rip are two of the most stubborn people I think we ever get the pleasure of knowing in these books.
Oh, in these books, yeah.
Yes, in these books, yes.
Yeah. I was going to say, it says the Taurus.
Well, it's not my fault. I'm always right, and I always have great ideas, so I can't help it.
Okay.
But both of them are trying to rattle the other one first with only using words. They're not fighting. They're not even cursing. They're not yelling. They're just jabbing, bantering. It's selectively spoken words.
Yeah. So she gets into the command tent.
Yes, the big tent.
And Rip's there with some people, and he's got all these things laid out on the table, and he sends everybody away.
Mm-hmm.
And invites Orin to sit down at the table. And she, of course, goes to the opposite end of the table, which is pretty much what he expected.
Oh, he 100% planned that.
And she's so funny because she gets mad at herself for not bothering to look at the documents.
Right.
While Osric is...
Yeah, he sweeps them away. She's like, God damn it. Why didn't I think of that?
Yes. And then Osric sits down too, which she was unprepared for.
But Osric is so big that she's like, I don't know how he fit on a seat. It's got to be like a half-ass situation.
Yes. I love that. Her inner monologue just cracks me up. So, and they just they sit down together, and he just starts asking her questions, and not even about Midas. Like, so you've been Midas's favorite for the last decade.
What's up with that?
Did you like it?
Did you enjoy it?
And she's like, what?
Okay. That's like someone, like, that would be like me asking you, did you enjoy being a prostitute for the past 10 years?
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, you're right. It would be like you asking me an awkward as fuck question like that.
Yeah.
So,
did you enjoy being a concubine for this royal fuck for the last 10 years? Did he treat you well, I guess?
Yeah. And what she doesn't realize is he's trying to break into her mind again. Again. That's a word now. You're welcome, guys. He doesn't want information about Midas so much as he wants information about Orin.
You think so?
Is what I was trying to say.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, at first, because if he gets her... Okay, so this is like all of the other books where they get the girl and they're holding her hostage and they make them fall in love.
You need to get out of the dark room.
It's just one of the tropes, though, where they get them to
let their guard down.
Let their guards down.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you feel closer to someone. You have that camaraderie. It's like making a new friend, right? Like you find that one person you hate to get.
Yes, and he's trying to get her to like him because she hates Midas. I mean,
she's starting to question Midas, but she still has that loyalty to Midas.
Yeah.
And her defense, Midas rescued her, quote unquote, rescued her. He's cared for her for 10 years. He's provided for her for 10 years. She hasn't needed anyone else for the past 10 years. This is going to be hard to break through. It's not going to happen in an afternoon.
True. But I think a lot of it is he keeps her off balance because he's asking her questions about her and her identity and how she feels about how she's been treated. So we're not to the Midas questions yet. Like, but how many people are in his army?
Right. She thinks that he's asking her these questions as a subtle way to get information about Midas.
Yeah.
Right. I've been with Midas for 10 years. Okay. I know that you've been there for 10 years. The gold cage was real. Got it. Gold cage was real.
He just wants...
I think it's a two-prong attack on Orin, and that attack might be the wrong word. But I think he's trying to get Orin to think, right? To like think critically. Did you enjoy your life for the past 10 years?
Yeah.
What could have been better?
Has no one ever talked to you about you?
Right. Yeah. But also, as a side effect, if I get some information about Midas,
bonus.
It's not the end of the world. Yeah.
Right. And she really thinks that he's trying to get her to admit that she was just caged up.
Mm-hmm.
Because he does ask her about her cage, if it was real.
I do think the cage thing was like just a curiosity thing.
I do too.
I think he really was just like, I don't know how you lived in a fucking cage. Please tell me that was just a rumor.
Yeah. And then Twig shows up to drop off their food. And he's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
And he's dressed not in the soldier's gear, but in the colors of the soldier. So he's wearing the brown that everybody wears. And she immediately jumps to, what the hell? How do you have a child serving in your army?
Yeah, how dare you allow this?
And Ostrich gets a little bit pissy about it because Ostrich has a shorter temper.
Ostrich's just kind of a dick, let's be real.
I think that he's just anger at this point. It's really probably hard for him.
Orin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for him to be around her.
Yeah.
But Rip, he's just, he's calm.
Cool and collected.
Yes.
And then they start eating in front of her. So they made her travel all day. Granted, it was in a carriage.
Yeah.
But the last thing she had was the gruel at breakfast from Keg. And then they eat in front of her.
He offers her the food, though, at first.
She thinks it's poisoned.
She's like, I'm not hungry. He's like, okay.
This reminds me of when I'm being just intentionally difficult, when I'm actually hungry and my boyfriend's like, fine, I'm gonna make this. What would you like to eat? And I'm just being like, I don't want anything. Nothing sounds good. And he's like, fine, I'll make chicken Alfredo because I know you'll eat that.
And Rip and Ostrich start eating.
Mm-hmm. And it's like crusty bread and stew. Like, it sounds like a great meal.
It really does. And 3 iron cups that she goes, I really hope are filled with wine.
True. Because remember, she's essentially an alcoholic. But he doesn't force her to eat. He just pushes the bowl towards her. Yeah. And then eats in front of her.
And then he just kind of starts talking about the cage.
Well, before that, though, so he shoves the food bowl towards her. She refuses. And he says something to the effect of, you've had enough orders. I'm not like Midas. I won't control you. Yeah. If you want to eat, great. If you don't, that's dumb, but that's on you.
Yeah. And then they just start eating.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. Bread.
Crusty bread.
It would be good for the stew.
They're questioning her. And like, It's a soft interrogation, maybe is
Yeah.
what we'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how they're asking about the cage, and she's talking about how it kept her safe.
Because, again, that's what she believes.
And then he again says, hey, do you want to eat? And she's all like, mm-mm. He's like, all right, that's up to you. And then he asks if she ate with Midas a lot. I
Which
forgot
feels
about that.
pointed. It feels like a pointed question, right?
Yeah, it does.
I don't think it was, though. I think he was honestly just curious.
Yeah.
Because Midas never really treated her like a person.
No.
Especially once Midas became the king. Like, maybe he did before.
Yeah.
But not since he became king.
Yeah.
And Oren snaps when he asks if they ate together a lot. And she said with her full chest, Midas loves her. And Rip is like, well, that's a fucking lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Oren doesn't have a comeback.
No.
Which is like the first time we don't really see a comeback with those two.
Yeah. So then she tries to what? Is this when she tries to retaliate?
Yeah, she
and
says
talks about
how the turntables turn and tries to throw his secret in his face.
Yeah.
And Rip does not take the bait.
Well, he's talking about he tells her that it's a lie, and she's like, that's funny coming from you. That's sassy.
So she's implying that Rip's men don't even know what he is.
Exactly.
Faye. And Rip just is like, okay, keep a lie for a lie or tell the truth for a truth. We can play this game all day.
You first, Goldfinch.
Yeah. Yes.
And she lied. She loses this one. Because she
She's
can't.
not ready to play the game.
No. And they've already noticed and called out that she's eating with her gloves on. Because the sun has not gone down yet. Which is a little bit of foreshadowing.
Who read for the vibe did not notice anything.
So there's a secret that she's keeping that they're noticing. Then the Faye thing.
The ribbons. She's not letting Hojat actually treat her.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on that Oren's keeping a secret. And then Oren knows that she loses.
Oh, yeah.
And she's mad. She's big mad.
I love what she says about the truth in this chapter. She says the problem with truths is that they're like spices. Add a little and it can enrich things. Let your experiences add a little and it can enrich things. Let your experiences more layers. Okay, that made 0 sense, but that's okay. And then she says, but if you pour out too much, it becomes unpalatable.
You would enjoy that, you being the cook.
I did enjoy that. Yeah. And she said, my truth seems to always ruin the meal.
What truth is she talking about? I mean,
we know it's because she's Faye.
But at this point in the book, I was on Reese's side. I was like, oh, Midas lent her some of his power. That's what did it. That explains it.
Yeah.
Raven Kennedy must love readers like me, who just follow whatever breadcrumbs she throws out without seeing the other trail going on over here.
She loves all of the readers.
She does. Oren isn't just physically captive, she's mentally trapped in the belief system that Rip is slowly...
Actively.
Yeah. Yep. Just piece by piece, just ripping it apart. Rip, get it? Rip is forcing her to look at everything in a different way.
Yeah.
Which I think we can all admit that's uncomfy, right? Like we've all been taught something and then new evidence comes to light or we get a new perspective and we're like, that's uncomfy to think about.
And she's not ready for that yet.
Okay, but let's go over the past week that Oren has had, right? She made a friend. She lost Digby. She lost her friend. She got kidnapped by pirates. She was almost raped by pirates, rescued by the Fourth Kingdom, and she's terrified of the Fourth Kingdom. And now Rip is like forcing her to face these. Like, I don't know what I would do in Oren's shoes.
I will tell you what I would have done in Oren's shoes in this meal. I would have not stood up and decided to walk myself to my kennel
like
before drinking the she left without drinking.
One, I'm proud of her. That proves that she didn't need it. But two, yeah, don't leave wine on the table. Come on.
We don't even know if it was wine.
True.
For all I know, it was a giant glass of freaking water.
That's true.
Or juice. I need to know what's in that cup.
It was wine. Like, let's be real.
I'm so mad about it.
A good red wine with some beef stew and some crunchy bread.
Mellow red from Purtle.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
I need like a good rich red with a good like beef stew. Anyway, beef and barley stew. Chapter 14. We're moving
14
on. Yeah.
is all about watching, waiting, and awakening. Orin is no longer just reacting to her captivity. She's starting to analyze it. She's stepping back, observing, and for the first time, truly questioning her world.
Thank fuck.
This is where she sits and watches everybody eating from
a distance.
From a
So
distance.
she puts herself separate.
Yeah, intentionally. She's just kind of watching. I like that she watches and starts to realize that Fourth Kingdom's army isn't
as scary or monstrous,
evil as she thinks they are.
Her worst mistake in this whole chapter is sitting next to Hojat while he's making his medicine.
But I like that she's starting to realize, well, but this is not how Midas made these people seem.
No,
these guys are supposed to be killers and evil monsters.
Yeah, but they're laughing, they're talking, they're sharing a meal. They're just people.
And her mouth starts watering at the smell from whatever it is they're cooking over the spit. It's meat. I know that.
They did finally get a creature of some sort.
And we get her first bright side.
Oh, what's her bright side?
At least I ate before I stormed out.
All right. Yeah. Because she did end up eating some of the...
She ate the stew.
Yeah.
Most of the bread.
Yeah.
So, but she spends a lot of time just watching people.
But she's also convinced that Rip is manipulating her.
Yeah.
And trying to turn her against Midas.
Yeah. But it's working, so that's okay.
I mean, is it really turning her against Midas, or is it opening her eyes to Midas?
I think he's just trying to open her eyes to Midas. Between him and Osric, they're just planting some seeds in her.
Which, is that not just as manipulative as what Midas was doing?
It's manipulative, but it's for different intent.
Is it?
It is.
I mean, Midas wanted her power so he could rule the world eventually.
Yeah.
So...
Anyway.
Rip is planting these seeds of doubt.
Yes.
And also manipulating her. Granted, in a different way, but manipulation is manipulation. And the seeds they're germinating. They're doing seed things. They're starting to take root. Yep. And she has to like keep actively reminding and convincing herself that Midas loves her.
Yes.
Which is not the sign of a healthy relationship.
Not at all. And she sits there for a while, and then this is the chapter where she starts to wander around, and the snow cart starts coming down heavier, and she smells leather, and it takes her back into another memory.
But we don't get a ton of details about the memory. We get flashes of her feelings through the memory.
Yes.
She's gagged. She's terrified.
Yeah.
And she pushes it back down like right away. She the flashback comes, and she's like, nope, that's not going to be a thing. And I think Rip's constant probing and questioning and picking at her is causing these memories to pop up.
I think so too.
I don't know if it's Rip or if it's the distance from Midas or both, or the fact that she's alone with her own thoughts for the first time in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it could be a combination of all of those.
Yep. So she just kind of pushes down her memories.
Preach.
And then, And then starts again with her mission.
She's got to find those messenger hawks.
Got to find the hawks. And instead she finds the nastiest smell.
Listen, Hojat just wants
camp.
to keep the soldiers healthy.
She finds Hojat. And Hojat is a good guy. He really is.
Yeah. He's an army mender. So he's got to work with what he can.
Yep.
And if that happens to be cow intestines, that happens to be cow intestines.
Yeah. It's funny because she sees him and she's like, she says he's got a pot on his fire and no one else seems to be sitting around him.
Which is weird, right?
And she thought that was weird until she got up to the smell.
And
then she was like, oh, what is that?
But Hojat treats her like a person. He doesn't treat her like a saddle or a captive. He's just like, really, he treats her as a patient. Like,
he does.
Your lip is healing, but your cheek isn't healing as much as I thought it should. How are your ribs? Things like he's checking up on her.
I also think that this is because he learned from Faye.
Mm.
So he's not treating her differently because in his mind, she's not any different than any other person.
Well, than any other Faye.
Well, than any other patient.
We'll go with that. Yeah.
We'll go with patient.
But yeah, he doesn't treat her like a saddle. He doesn't treat her like a captive. He's just, how's your ribs?
Yeah. And she's asking him about the pungent smell coming from. And he tells her it's a new mixture I'm trying out to treat aches and pains.
You want
And
to be
then
my test
he
subject?
gets so excited and asks her, do you want to be my test subject? And she is like, I am not drinking that.
God, no.
I am not drinking that. And he was like, of course not. Silly.
It's a salve.
It's a salve. And she's still like,
Absolutely not.
absolutely not.
I'm gonna barf standing
Maybe
here.
next time.
She is so nice to him though. Like she tries so hard not to insult him.
Yeah. And then he gets on her for not icing her cheek because, she should be. And I think this is where she's trying to convince him to see the other saddles because he says that they're being difficult.
Yep.
And won't let him treat them. And she's like, ooh.
Well, he says like, you Midas lot are untrusting or an untrusting bunch. Yeah.
Which means he's seen the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, can you blame us? We're all captives in the fort's army. So he throws some knowledge at her of his own. We're all captives of something, even if we don't want to admit it.
God, I feel that. Even things we don't want to admit to.
Even things we don't want to admit to. Yes, that's it.
God, I feel that. And so does Oren. Oren feels that comment straight to her bones.
Yeah.
And then, just as Hojat says, I'm not taking you to go see the other saddles.
Because she tries to lie to him. Okay.
And she's such a terrible liar.
She's like, I'm actually headed over there right now. Maybe you want to walk with me? And he's like,
no.
No.
Well, okay. He wants to believe her. He's like, did the captain give you permission? And she tries to skirt that, like, without answering.
Yeah.
So she doesn't, like, outright lie to him. And then our other favorite character, side character, steps up. And we meet Lou.
And she's like, I'll take her.
I love Lou.
And Hojat's like,
are you sure?
You sure about that? And Oren's just looking at her like, what
the fuck
is
are
this?
You? Yeah.
What is this? She's got a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Her hair is short. And
she's got like knives.
Daggers or knives or something etched into it.
Not etched, but like shaved into her side.
That's
okay. Here's the thing. Lou looks like every female sidekick in every fantasy book ever. Right? So I'm picturing like someone of maybe Oriental descent, darker skin, tilted eyes, dark hair. So think Nezrin, Throne of Glass. You haven't met her yet.
Nezrin was Middle Eastern.
Okay, either way. I think we can all agree
she's a sidekick.
Tan skin.
Yeah.
Dark hair. And like all of the female sidekicks are kind of described the same way.
Pretty much.
Like, you'll meet another female sidekick in the Everflame series, and she's also described as tan skin, dark hair, short dark hair. And she's the captain of
sidekick here.
Kind of. Like, I hate to say it like that, but I think it's good in the sense that we're diversifying the cast, right? Like they're not all white, which is nice. Okay, anyway, we're meeting Lou.
We're meeting Lou for the first time.
Generic female sidekick.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she's willing to take her to see the other saddles.
I want to be very, very clear here. Neither one of them lie to Hojat. They just don't answer him.
Oren lies to him. She tells him she has permission.
That's true. Okay,
and he says,
that's fair. I don't believe you.
No,
because once again, I'm sure Oren said it like, yeah, I totally have permission to go see them.
Yeah.
Like just very obvious.
Yeah. But Lou is offering to take her, and Hojat's like, are you sure? And
are you
she's
sure
like,
that's allowed? Is really what he's getting at.
And she's like, it's fine.
Let's not forget, Lou is a captain, so Hojat knows she's a captain.
Yeah.
Hojat really doesn't have a way to be like, you can't do that. He doesn't outrank her. And I think that's Hojat
part of the reason.
Respects the chain of command, right?
So he's just kind of like, okay.
And Oren's like, Hojat wouldn't let me go with someone who's going to murder me, right? Right?
It's so cute.
But this is the first woman that Oren meets within the Fourth Kingdom's army.
Yes.
And not only is Lou in the army, she's captain of the army.
Which
and Oren's,
yeah.
Oren's not used to seeing a woman in the army, period, full stop. Like, she's not used to seeing women have any sort of power.
Yeah.
Or, like, autonomy.
And I like Lou from the get-go.
I do, too.
You know,
she's fun.
She's fun. And Oren talks about her, how she is like this woman that's super light on her feet.
Mm-hmm. Calls her bird-like. Like, she compares her to a bird.
Yeah. And she starts walking her through the camp, and Oren's thinking, oh, we're going to see the saddles. And while they're walking, Lou is like, so you're the famous one that they're talking about.
And Lou is like zigzagging, right? Like, she's not going on the straight path. She's leaving her behind tents and like avoiding people. And...
And they're able to joke from the get-go, which she hasn't been able to do with anyone else. I think this is her first female companion.
I agree. Yeah.
So.
And not like in the 17th century female companion way, but like an actual like a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Just someone that that's also a woman that she can connect with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after a while of this whole zigzagging thing, she's like, you are really taking me. You're taking me to see the saddles. And Lou's just like, I said I was, didn't I?
I would never lie to you. But okay, so Lou's the captain. So you have to, and Oren doesn't know this yet, but as readers, we don't know this yet. But we see confidence in Lou. We see strategy, right? She's avoiding people. She knows her way around the campsite. She's clearly a soldier at the minimum.
And she's taking Oren to murder, death, kill her.
Yeah. Correct. Because Lou also has a sword at this point because she's a soldier.
Yeah.
So Oren's just following this random lady with a sword around a campsite she knows nothing about.
And they finally stop at a tent.
And Oren should never go to Compton.
Lou is just like, why shouldn't she go to Compton?
Because Compton is super dangerous.
So Lou starts digging into this tent.
Well, the whole time they're walking, Lou is trying to talk to her, right?
Yes. Like, she's asking her questions.
Yeah. And she's asking Oren questions that Oren's never been asked before. Like, do you ever get tired of being stared at?
Well, that's after they steal it, though. First, they have to steal the keg first.
The barrel of wine.
So they steal this barrel.
And Oren's a weak ass bitch. Like, let's call it what it is.
And her bright side, because it does come up right after they get the barrel and are starting to carry it. Her bright side is, at least she's not murdering me. I'm just an accomplice to the crime.
You know what? A bright side's a bright side.
Oren. And then Lou's walking with her and she's like, so was it painful?
Yeah. And no one's ever asked Oren if it hurt. Because remember, everyone thinks that Midas Gold touched Oren.
Yes. And she's never had anybody ask her that before. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I what? And then she pops off right after that one with, do you hate it? Being stared at all the time?
And Oren's like, yes, I do.
And I don't think she even, like, it was such an automatic answer.
Yeah.
That I don't think she was prepared.
Yeah.
But she didn't
hesitate.
Nothing.
Yeah. It's not the first time. It's the first time another woman has treated Oren like a person.
Yes.
And like, it's the first time I think Oren's ever heard those questions too.
I don't think anybody asks her about
anything.
Rip called that out also. Mm-hmm. Because he said, doesn't anybody ever ask you about you? And she's like, no. And he said, not even Midas.
But Oren doesn't trust Rip. So it's not going to like, yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't know if she can trust Lou or not, but she doesn't not trust Lou.
Right. So she's not afraid to be honest with her because for all she knows, this might be the only time she sees her anyway.
True. Yeah.
So it's easier to talk to your Uber driver about important things than it is to talk to your friends sometimes.
Who has gotten into an Uber, smashed, and told my Uber driver my entire love story at one point. I feel this.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I got a 5-star review on that. I also bought them Amigos or De Leon's or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oren has spent years convincing herself that being gold and being Midas is
being different,
favored is exactly what she wanted.
Oren, you deserve more.
And now she's admitting that she hates it.
I don't think she ever expected it to go as far as it did.
No. And I think Osric telling her that she's his symbol
I think that was a
help
huge
this.
catalyst. Like,
Yeah.
Orin hates being reduced to an object, reduced to a novelty. She hates being someone else's symbol. Being honest with Lou was easy for her. It's an easy rebellion that she can do, right? Like, she can finally be honest with a stranger that's leading her through camp carrying a bottle or barrel of wine. A cask of wine.
Oh, they call it a barrel, don't they? Yeah, they just
do.
call it a barrel.
Yeah. But that's another crack in Midas's illusion.
Yeah. And then, so we're going to flip this. And then she starts asking her questions.
Who starts asking who questions?
Orin starts asking Lou, doesn't she, about being a soldier?
Yep. Because she's never seen a female soldier before.
Yeah. And, Orin keeps noticing how people are reacting to her. They're giving her kind of deference. And then she has to tell her, this is getting heavy. I can't carry this for much longer.
Pick up your fair share of.
And Lou gives her her first nickname that she doesn't completely hate.
Goldie.
Gildy,
that's right.
Yeah. So, and then
Goldilocks.
She gives her the spoils of
she gives her a glass.
She gives her a glass.
A goblet of wine.
And the way that they describe it, it sounds kind of like a mulled wine.
Mm-hmm. So, but not warm, because it's,
But it's still yummy.
For sure.
Yes. So she drinks the wine made from the vineyards of the Fourth Kingdom, and it's delicious. And then she goes, so you're a soldier. And Lou's like, what gave it away?
Was it the sword on my hip?
And then they talk about how King Ravager always let women be soldiers.
Mm-hmm. And Lou, goes off.
Yeah.
She's got very strong feelings about women being soldiers. Pro women being soldiers. But yeah, she has strong feelings, and I'm going to leave it at that.
And the fact that she uses the word aloud, Orin did,
that's really what set
her off.
And Lou is like, any other kingdom is dumb not to let their women into armies. And that's why the Fourth Kingdom will always be superior.
Which is fantastic, and I love it.
Yes.
Because it makes Orin go, Midas would never allow women to be soldiers. He would rather them be saddles or something like that. I don't know if she says that or if Lou says that to her.
Yeah.
Or maybe, Lou, they're both, Orin's thinking it and Lou's saying it, maybe. But it's really, Orin is enjoying noticing how people are treating Lou.
Mm-hmm. Well, because people are walking around Lou. Lou doesn't have to walk around anybody. And so I'm sure any woman who has worked in an office building knows, if you're coming across, you're both walking down an aisle, right? Mm-hmm. Men typically don't move. They expect the women to move to one side or another. And they don't do that for Lou. Mm-hmm. Everyone moves out of Lou's way.
And Lou's doing something crazy with Orin.
I mean, they're stealing a barrel of...
Well, I was thinking she was just treating her like a person.
Like a person, yeah.
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 And eventually, Orin gets her glass of wine, and it's her first glass of wine in
a while.
Days. Yeah. And she chugs it, and at the end of it, she thinks, my God, I love wine.
Yep.
Which I felt in my soul.
Yeah.
And then Lou eventually does take her to the saddle tent.
She does. She gets her to the saddle tent. And then we go to chapter 16, which is the confrontation with Rissa.
Yes.
So while Lou is distracting the two guards watching the tent.
And that's how Orin figures out that Lou is a captain.
Yes.
The guards call Lou captain.
Yes. And Orin takes a deep breath, walks inside.
Ugh.
And it smells bad in there. And the atmosphere is just angry and tense. And what's funny is they're just going at each other. I think she walks into Mist and Gia having an argument.
Which,
This one actually lists 7 of the 12 by name.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
we never really hear about them again.
No.
I just, if I was stuck in a I don't know, 6-person tent with 12 other saddles, I would also be really frustrated.
I agree.
Right?
Yep.
And like, they don't trust any of the Fourth Kingdom soldiers. They're probably not getting medical treatment. Well, we know they're not getting medical treatment.
Because they're refusing it.
Agreed. They're probably not getting the best food because they're not going out to Keg to get their own.
And they're
They're also not allowed to leave.
No, they can only one at a time, and they can walk around the town. Around the tent.
Yep.
So they're just scared that they're waiting for that shoe to drop.
Which I get. Yeah. I do.
And she comes in and she clears her throat, and then they all get to attack her.
Well, she's an easy target.
She really is, because she acts like she shouldn't be treated differently, but she knows she is.
Right.
And it's hard for her not to be like, yeah, I know I am. I suck.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. My bad.
But she's not going to apologize for it. Why should she? I don't think she needs to apologize for being treated differently.
She's not doing anything to encourage being treated different. But she's also not doing anything to like force herself back with the other saddles either.
No.
However,
she would be killed if she was with the other saddles.
And she's never been allowed to be with the other saddles. Like
because she would
never
gild them.
Well, she never lived like with a saddle wing when they were back in the Sixth Kingdom. Like she was always kept separate.
Yeah. Well, but because she would gild them and turn them all gold, and then he would just have to keep replacing saddles. So honestly, what he's doing is to save the saddles, other than making them all hate each other.
I never pegged you for a Midas sympathizer.
I'm not a Midas sympathizer. I am all about protecting the other saddles from Oren's inability.
That's fair. She has no control of her power. Yeah.
So.
But once again, Oren has proved that she's got freedoms that they don't have.
Yes.
She's got privileges that they don't have. She's talking to the commander. They don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, she's getting medical treatment. Again, they're refusing, but she's getting it.
Mist just...
Oh my god, fucking Mist.
You know, Oren's like, everything's going to be okay. And Mist is like, you know what? Pretty soon the soldiers are going to get bored anyway, and they're going to come have their fun with us.
Okay. If that was the case, would that not have already happened? They've been traveling with this kingdom for days already.
2-3 days, something like that.
And like,
but they don't know that because they don't talk to Rip.
And they don't trust anyone either. So even if Rip did sit down and say, you can trust my soldiers, they're not going to trust it.
No, because why would she believe that that's safe? She doesn't think anybody's going to stop them.
Yeah.
There's no way for them to get out, and they know that this is what they do.
Right. That's all they know how to do. That's all they've been trained to do. They didn't even know how to cook when they were thrown in with the pirates.
And no matter what Oren tells them, she can't promise that it's not going to be a thing that happens. Because even though Rip is saying that she's safe, he's not saying never said that they're safe.
Yeah. But Mist doesn't have to be such a bitch about it.
True.
But don't we find out later, isn't it Mist is the one that gets... Okay.
Yeah, Mist is the one that's...
I mean, do we want to say it? I'm fine saying it. You're going to say it a lot nicer than I'm going to say it.
Mist is the one that's pregnant.
Yeah, I was going to say that she was knocked up. Yeah.
So.
But we find that out in book 3, I want to say.
Or towards the end of this book.
Maybe.
But, I mean, Mist is cruel about how they're not going to be able to protect the soldiers getting bored. And then Polly...
Fucking Polly.
Polly just has to go in there and dig in the knife a little tighter.
I'm convinced Polly has never had an original thought in her entire life.
Polly's just a mean girl. We aren't all Midas's favored. We don't have that title to protect us like you do. That's why we're in here and you're out there.
Fuck off.
And like everybody else, they still see her as Midas's pet. I don't think they're wrong on this, though.
Again,
sorry.
You don't have to be so bitchy about it, though. Although,
yeah, you're right.
Although, I don't think Oren responds to anything except super direct confrontation.
Yeah.
So maybe they do have to be bitchy about it.
Yeah. And honestly, she does seem kind of naive to them because she's telling them it's fine. You know, you should let the doctor see you.
Great. Yeah.
I'm getting treated just fine. And everybody's like, a fucking course you are.
Right. You're the gilded pet.
Yeah. And then this kind of leads to her final thing with Rissa. Is this where she starts? This is where she asks. She's staring at her, watching her, trying to figure out.
Because Rissa is not squabbling like the other ones are. She's
just watching.
Yeah. Rissa is smarter than what she lets on.
Rissa's the leader, I think, of the saddles.
Yeah.
for sure. And she's just watching. And I think this is where Oren goes, "Can I talk to you?"
Yep. Because Oren needs to get Rissa out
Yeah.
so that Oren can see to know exactly what Rissa knows and what she's told other people.
Yeah. And this is just this chapter just sucks.
This chapter just reminds us how separated Oren is from everyone else.
And how they still just hate her.
For no good. Well, we all hate what we don't know or don't understand, right?
Yes.
And so someone different who's getting perceived benefits.
Yeah.
You look like you wanted to say more.
I was just thinking, I don't know if I hate things that I don't understand. I just don't understand things I don't understand.
No kidding. No, but I think fear is
Yeah.
an automatic response to something you don't understand, right?
Yeah, I can get behind that.
And fear often leads to lashing out, and they mask it with anger, or they mask it with being bitchy. So, but Oren drags Rissa out by the hair, not by the hair. They agree to go for a walk around the tent.
Yes.
Chapter 17. And Oren is like, I think I kind of forgot how tense Oren would be in this scene. Because she needs to know what Rissa observed and if she told anyone.
Yes.
Right? And Rissa is great at playing this game because she does not play her hand at all.
Nope.
She makes Oren ask the questions and make the first step. And Rissa jumped. She was never super low in my book, but she jumped up higher in my book because of this game.
Yeah. I love that this red herring that Raven gives us in this, and this just completely plausible explanation.
I'm telling you, I fell for it. Like, I was like, okay.
You know?
So, a quick recap. Last book, right? It was the last book. We saw Oren completely gilled or turn into a gold statue, Captain Fane.
Yes.
And Rissa also saw that because they both had to throw him off the edge of the boat.
Yes.
And so at that point, that's a huge indicator, right? That Oren is the one turning everything gold.
Yes.
That should be a huge, like, oh my God,
green
Oren
flag.
is the one who has all the power.
Yes.
Everyone look here. And then in this fucking chapter, fucking Raven Kennedy is like, oh, you think you know what's going on? Fuck you. And Rissa has a completely different understanding of what happened in that scene. And she thinks that when Midas Gold touched Oren, gilded Oren, some of his power transferred over to Oren. Yep. And that's why Oren was able to then gold touch Captain Fane.
And that's why he refuses to gold touch anyone else.
Because he doesn't want to give up any more of his power. Yes. Which, your first time reading through, you're like, absolutely, that makes sense. Some of us don't get hung up on the ribbons. We're just reading for the vibe.
I love that Oren's like, she pieced it together. How does she figure this out? Like, she's making you think.
Yeah, Raven Kennedy does a great job of like leading the readers down this rabbit trail of, so Oren doesn't actually have power, so to speak. She's got remnants of power from when she was gilded. And it's totally plausible. We don't know the rest of the series at this point, right? And I was so mad.
And Rissa is so smart that you automatically assume that this is correct.
Because, well, she's smart, she's charismatic, she's naturally the leader, and you always follow the leader, so...
and she's not asking Oren to confirm anything.
Oren's
just standing there like...
Deer in the headlights,
And she just wants to know how she can flip this to her advantage.
Rissa is, above all, a survivalist. Yes. She's taking care of Rissa. And you can't blame her in the world that she grew up in either. Nope.
So what she wants from Oren to keep her secret about gilding Captain Fane is enough gold to buy her freedom. And Oren's like, well, why didn't you just steal it from the castle? And Rissa's like, are you fucking stupid? Did you not know that they counted everything? And
literally everything. And like,
everything.
I never thought of that until they're having this conversation. Honestly, like as a reader, I was like, I guess, why didn't she just chip off gold bricks for gold flakes? You know what I mean? Like, or steal a fork. And like, apparently I'm not selfish enough to be King Midas, because I never would have thought about that.
Yeah.
Not selfish enough and or not rich enough to worry about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think Orin ever thought about it either.
Mm-mm.
I mean, Orin can turn anything gold, so like, why would she? But
I also don't think Orin knew that they could buy themselves out of their saddlehood and buy their freedom.
That very well could be. Orin never thought about that.
She's not a normal saddle.
Yeah.
You know, Risa's been saving up ever since she became a royal saddle. She saves all of the tips from when riders...
Is that what we're calling them?
Well, that's what she called them.
That is, yep.
If she's done an exceptionally good job, they give her a tip.
The tips are hers to keep. It's like a waitress, right?
And then she says she can, you know, with the gold that Orin gives her, she will have somebody break it down into coins for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll lie and say Captain Fane paid her for her services for being such a good saddle. Which, who's going to dispute that?
They can't question him.
Like,
so,
it's not like Quarter's going to be like, he would never do that because, you know, and then she'll just make everything seem so legit that Midas can't really suspect that Orin gave her the gold. But Orin's like, I can't do this right now. I can do it. I will.
But not right now.
But I can't do it here.
When we get to Fifth Kingdom.
Yeah.
I got you. When Rissa's smart.
Yeah.
And she says, secrets have a price in this world, and we all have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Even the girl made out of gold. And that's just such a great line, right?
Yeah.
I feel so bad for them.
No, I do. Yes, I also feel bad. Sorry. I was going to say no, but I was like, why am I saying no to this?
It's an impossible situation for Orin, right? Because she can't do anything immediately. So she's counting on Rissa to trust her.
Yeah.
And Rissa doesn't trust anyone, and you can't blame Rissa for that either.
Nope, because Orin only trusts Midas.
Yeah.
Which she shouldn't, but whatever.
But do you think that the other saddles also only trust Midas?
If the other saddles are smart, they don't trust anyone. I think Polly's dumb and trusts Rissa.
I think Rissa's too smart to trust anyone. I think Rissa, and we learn about this later, Rissa and Polly started together, so they have that camaraderie.
Yeah.
And Rissa will do just shy of moving the world to take care of Polly.
Yeah, which is dumb and misplaced, and she'll find that out later too.
It's something you would do for a friend.
I know. I'm aware.
It's still dumb.
It's still dumb.
But yeah, so Orin also feels for Rissa, and Orin knows what it's like to be in a cage, right? And she knows she can respect trying to get out of the cage, especially at this point.
Yeah. And then we go from Rissa and Orin and then the agreement that they're making back to Melina.
Good old Queen M.
Yes. And she's again, this time she is walking one of the ladies.
So she's walking a recently widowed queen.
Queen or lady? Because she's a noblewoman in her...
Maybe it's a lady.
Lady Helena.
Lady Helena. Okay,
Lady Helena.
She's walking a recently widowed lady, and
she's just showing her around the castle.
They're both playing a game, though, right? Like, they're both sidestepping each other and, like, not saying what they exactly want to say, and they're both playing...
the game.
They're both playing the game. And the atrium, Queen Melina has memories in, right? Like, she remembers when it was when it was an atrium, and there was dirt and flowers, and like you smell a garden, right? Like the fresh tilled dirt and flora
and fauna.
Sure. Yeah, fauna. It smells like earth.
Yeah, and moss, and it's just got
an
real
earthy smell. Yeah. And now, because Midas took over everything,
he's ruined it.
Everything's gilded. It's a mausoleum of gold.
Yeah. But it's also the most popular place for people to get taken to so that they can see a testament of his abilities, powers.
And but think about it. Like, if you, not knowing what we know, right? I would totally go to a kingdom with a gold atrium. Are you kidding me? That sounds cool.
Yeah. And, you know, Lady Helena is just really excited to be in here. And she's walking around and asking questions, which is drawing Melina back into the past because this was her mother's area. She can see her mom digging in the dirt, planting things, tending things.
Well,
You
didn't they
know,
drag her mom's bed up into that room?
when she was dying, which is kind of a, like when you think about what we started with in Guild.
Yep. Dragging the bed up so they could all have an orgy in there.
Yeah. So the disrespect that Midas gives to this poor room,
Is,
at least in Melina's eyes.
yeah, my flabbers are gasted.
Yeah. That's a thing. That's so awesome. So, and you know, they're looking around, and Helena, because she's a widow, has a lot of power, especially with the noble,
Yeah.
the noblemen's, the noble
In the court,
class,
so to
in the
speak.
court.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, Melina is showing Helena sympathy for her late husband and apologizing for not having her to the castle sooner. You know, while she's trying to guide her through the atrium, she really wants this to be a quick spin through the
She really
atrium.
wants to get Lady Helena on her side.
Yeah, she's trying to get her support, and she just doesn't know a way to bring it up.
And how do you bring that up without, I don't know, I'm awkward, so I'd be like, hey, will you be on my side?
Yeah. So about this,
Yeah.
how's this going to go for us?
Right.
Are you for me? Can we just do this thing?
Can we chill together? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
so
yeah. And by the time that Helena is wrapping up her tour and she's getting ready to like meet her guards and go back to whatever kingdom she's from.
Her house. She's from the Sixth Kingdom.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah. She's putting back on her veil because
her
when you're
veil.
in mourning,
yeah,
if you're around royalty or at home, you don't have to wear it. But as soon as you have to go back out into the world, you have to put it back on. So that's when she puts the veil on. Then she tells Melina, you have my full support.
Yep. Which is huge for Melina, right? She hasn't publicly asked for any support. She hasn't even manipulated anyone into supporting her. She's just searching for the support. And hearing that from a society member, someone high up in society,
yes,
Melina's ambition just skyrockets.
Yeah.
She's ready. And Melina quote says, I may not have been born with magic, but I'm going to prove to Tyndall that my court, to my entire kingdom, that I hold my own kind of power. I love that for her.
Yeah.
Get it, girl? Yes. So it's no longer just about controlling while Midas is gone.
Yeah.
She's moving the chess pieces so she can control forever.
Yeah. This isn't about just him being gone for a while. She's taking back over.
It's her home. It's her kingdom. I mean, in her defense, she grew up there. She was groomed to rule that kingdom, and to have it ripped away because some silly rule about her not having any power, I would have a hard time with it.
Yeah. And once Melina walks Lady Helena out, the advisors come back. And these are not her advisors. These are Midas's advisors. Yeah. So they're definitely loyal to him. And they start questioning her on things like her authority. She stopped a messenger hawks from going out to ask Midas about every single little thing. She's like, I can do this. I can answer these issues.
Yeah.
I will be making the decisions. And this isn't just her saying, I'm just watching over while Midas is gone. This is her telling them, I am in control and I will do this myself. We don't need any hawks. Any updates, concerns will come to me. So she's cutting off all communication to Midas. Yeah. Because messenger hawks are like the only way they communicate. Yeah. And so this is a coup in slow motion. And it's a little too close to home these years. Yeah. And I like that she's been asking questions about everything. Most especially about the Six Kingdoms forces, which, by the way, if Rip had ever asked Orin about those, she would have no fucking clue. Absolutely not. So, but the advisors have this fear that she's preparing for. Melina doesn't want war. War is expensive. It's costly. It's hard on the kingdoms. There's no reason to go to war at this point, but she's ready for an attack. She's ready. She wants to make sure her kingdom is
prepared for an attack, either outside or within.
Yeah. And she's just terrifying these poor advisors. What is it? Wilcox.
Yeah, that's like the main one that we hear about.
Yeah. He directly says, "Forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn, but these inquiries, it sounds like you plan to prepare for war."
Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
That's not what she says. She says that a good ruler knows where her kingdom stands and prepares for attacks both outside and within.
Yeah.
But also, fuck you, dude.
Yeah. So we're kind of wondering what it is she's planning. I also do not think that she's planning for war, because it's silly to do that.
Yeah. I don't think she wants war.
I think she just wants to make sure that if there was one, there
ready.
would be enough protection.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I think she's just trying to get a pulse back on her kingdom. She wants to know what's going on. She's been cut out of the loop.
Yes. And these poor advisors, I do feel bad for them because, one, they served Midas, and two, they did not realize what they were getting left with when he took other advisors with him. Like, they're probably thinking, damn it, I did draw the short straw.
Right.
Because
we're stuck with this bitch.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're thinking not flattering terms about Queen Melina. They're just not. Like, they're not used to being bossed around by a woman.
Nope. They're used to her being the obedient wife, just being Midas's shadow, like you put in here in the notes.
Yep.
And now she's not.
Good for her.
That wife. She's stepping out into the light and into her own power.
Even though she has
no magic, she still has power.
She knows how to work a kingdom. She knows how to control a kingdom. She knows the mechanisms that it takes to run a kingdom.
Yeah. Which is why she's securing allies.
Yep, she's trying to.
Yeah. And she did a really good job of silencing any of the noblemen that thought that they had something to say.
Yeah.
Before, which is great.
Okay, so again, we've read all the way up into the last book, so we know how Melina's reign ends. I can't tell you exactly where she took her missteps, or if she did take any, or if it's just the fact that she's a woman in charge without power, and that's what caused everything. You know what I mean?
I think that, and we'll see this in a later book, Midas's assassin had something to do with it too.
True.
So part of it was her own missteps, but a lot of it was that man sowing the seeds.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But either way, this is Melina marking her territory. This is going to be Melina this is her reign, and Midas is about to be really pissed off.
Yeah. Midas has a goal, and we see this, I think, later on in this book. Midas has a goal of taking over not just 6th and 5th kingdom, but the entire kingdoms,
of
right?
Court,
like 1 through 6. Yeah. Like, he wants to rule everything.
Yeah.
Which, this is a book about how power makes you greedy and all of that, blah, blah, blah. But fuck Midas.
That's it for today's episode.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening to Corks and Cauldron. Be sure to follow us at Corks and Cauldron on all of your favorite socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Threads.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please rate us and review us. Share us with your book besties or your booksties, which is what I like to call people, and tell the world.
Tell everyone. Tell everyone you know. We think we're funny. We are funny.
And it's the best way to spread the word and help our podcast grow. Because Corks and Cauldron is a self-funded labor of love, and your support helps keep the magic alive.
And our glass is full.
So if you want to join our Patreon community today at patreon.com/Corks and Cauldron, maybe even donate enough to treat us to a bottle of wine.
I would appreciate that. Yep. Our next episode drops next Thursday, and we're covering chapters 19 through 26.
And until then, eat,
drink,
and get lost in a good book.
Cheers.